Yo, what's poppin', guys? Sizzle here. Welcome to another episode of How's the HUD. And in this episode, we're going to be taking a look at WeirdcoreHUD by Tama. And yeah, it looks pretty nice and stylized going in. It's got some nice cell shading. This thing on the right was on the loading screen. It's also in the main menu. We have a nice little animated scrolling background on the left there. This isn't necessarily in the TF2's art style, but I think this like vaporwave type thing fits pretty well. We have nice custom animated icons for everything other than the mid-mode option, I guess. And I guess HUD settings isn't animated, but it doesn't really have to be. That's pretty neat. Friends, we can't close that out. I thought that'd be toggleable friends list, but unfortunately it's not. That's actually a little unfortunate. Having that toggleable right there is a pretty nice spot to be toggleable. On the bottom here, we have all the buttons for things like the contractor, but they're not labeled. Also have custom sound effects, it sounds like, which is pretty neat. But not having this like pop up and say contractor when you hover over it, it's a bit unfortunate for newer players that maybe don't know this stuff, which I think is an important consideration for HUDs. Like, most new players won't use them, but that could change. You know, maybe their favorite YouTuber used a HUD, maybe they watched this series and wanted to try it out. Stuff like that's pretty important to consider. I do like the fuck it and let's go for like queuing and then closing the game. Items, we got some nice custom character portraits with, yet again, I think cell shading. I don't actually know what the art style is called. We got our different loadouts. Pretty similar to another thing we've seen before, but instead of the items being on the right and the character being on the left, the character's on the right and the items are on the left. I do like the like 8-bit type text. I think that looks kind of neat. We can see the names of items on the boards and all that. Looks pretty good. Decent way of inspecting characters. That coin sound effect sounds like it's going to get really, really annoying really soon. Kind of wish it didn't come with it. Every time I click onto a class, there's like 3 different coin sound effects playing. Not the biggest fan of that, but very much functional. We can go to items, here, backpack. The custom background on backpack is pretty neat. The page thing being down here in the bottom left, I feel like whoever made this HUD maybe just doesn't have all the backpack slots, because if you just have like the default, I think the default you has like 8 or 10 or something, which is honestly more than most people will ever need. But, you know, someone like me who has 64 of the available like 80 backpack pages, having this clip is kind of an L, I'll be honest. Also, the coin sound effect on each one of those is super overkill. That will definitely get very annoying very quickly. As outside of that, though, background's really nice. The borders work pretty well as well. Pretty decent looking overall backpack, and all of that. Options look about the same. Advanced should probably look the same. We have HUD settings. I do like that. We have fixing HUD. We go to item test. We can customize our crosshair, view model, etc. Pretty decent. I've obviously seen more. I also don't know. I don't want to click the mouse. I kind of want to click it, but I'm not going to. But yeah, decent stuff all around here. Like I said, unfortunately, there's no toggleable friends list, but all the menu options that you generally click are all accessible here on the left. HUD options is a cool thing to have. The queue thing is pretty much stock TF2, but slightly like visually changed, but the functionality and placement everything is the exact same, which I personally don't like. I think that's one of stock TF2 HUD's like flaws, is the queuing for game menu. But yeah, found ourselves a casual game. We have an animated loading screen. I don't see those too often. That is pretty neat. I guess it swaps from animated to not animated when you actually get to the map, or it's like bugging out or something. Having an animated loading screen is pretty neat. Reminds me of Gary's Mod, where they have the same things. Pretty standard stuff here. We have some like crazy styling on the on the character select. Choose your fighter. The models are there. I can't drag him around like in that one HUD. Like I'm trying to drag left and right, and it's not working. But that's fine. In game, the HUD elements are super visually like there. I think it'll take a bit for my eyes to kind of adapt to it. Also, the fact that like everything tied to your team is pink for some reason. Like, what team am I even on? I'm on the red team, not the blue team. I'm on the red team, but the cart down here is pink. My You know, up here they got like a weird mix of pink and I can't see my mouse that well, but in the top middle, it's a weird like gradient of pink and blue for any objective stuff that'd be up there. There at least is a payload icon this one, and the chat's also pink, so I guess that's part of the Vaporwave thing. You can see people's names and health very easily. We have the nice bars from HUD, where I think if you lose health, it'll kind of like deplete that bar. And we also have the numbers, and we also have the names all in one. Nice and simple. The kill streak icon on the bottom left is super, super nice. I also like the little triangle shapes, kind of HUD elements. I think that looks super nice as well. Let's see how meters look. That's always worth checking in on. Meters are nice and central, nice and, you know, visibly there. All names and all that. That all looks pretty good. What else we have? Medic. Yep, medic looks good. We have the Uber charge bar, the healing, the ammo, and who you're healing. All nice and central, all nice and visible. That's how I like in a HUD personally, and I think they did a good job there. Engineer stuff goes in the top left, fair enough. That's not a bad place to have it. Doesn't feel super out of place or anything. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all there is to talk about. I guess I could just go shoot some people and whatnot and actually play the game for a second. Oh yeah, I need the spectate menu. It's kind of hard to remember what to check in on all these HUDs. I still have to do the spy disguise menu, which I'll do in a second, but I have to also check what it's like when you're respawning. Ooh, you can even see, like, it's red when that guy's low, on low health. That's pretty neat. But yeah. That's not a spy, that's a real sniper on my team. What, low HP? I get a low HP indicator in the middle of my screen. I don't like that. That's, like, if you're low HP and you're trying to clutch and you see low HP flash on your screen, that's gotta fuck you up. Like, it's neat to have this. If this was in the bottom left, if this was down here where I'd be looking for my health, that would be actually a good flashing indicator to have. But having it in the middle of my screen when I'm trying to, you know, maybe clutch up and try to live or something, that's not great. I don't like that. That's a bad thing. The kill feed also looks like stock TF2, like it's completely uncustomized, which looks super out of place when almost every other HUD element has been pretty well customized and like adapted to fit with the HUD. So that's another point. Little game over thing where you get killed by somebody, you can see their health and profile pic, that's pretty neat. Spectating people works just fine. They have it so it overlays over the payload instead of behind it, which is a good thing. A lot of HUDs have the problem where when you spectate someone, their name and health bar go behind the payload thing, when in fact you want it above it so you can actually read it. And this HUD doesn't have that problem. I will say I also noticed the model in the left here. When I'm on engineer, you can see it clipping out the bottom left there and kind of ending randomly on the right there. I don't know if it's been like that on every class or if I'm just noticing, no, yeah, soldiers got that problem, scouts got that problem. So that's a pretty universal problem. I know you can tilt these models. It might be worth trying to tilt this stuff or maybe cut it off differently or something if River makes this HUD. If you end up seeing something like this or getting feedback. Spy disguise, got some funny little EXE things. When we actually disguise as the person, we can see weapon, model, name, health, all that in the bottom. Nice and visible, looks pretty clean. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this HUD. Very, very heavily stylized, you know, 8-bit, vaporwave, retro, whatever. Clearly someone's passion project. You know, they added a lot of things that they, I think, personally like. This isn't like a lot of the HUDs I've been reviewing recently have been like transferring between games, right? We had the Half-Life HUD where it was like Half-Life and TF2 meet. We had Ultra HUD, which was Ultra Kill. But this is very much someone's own creation. Looks pretty neat, looks pretty nice overall. A little rough around the edges though. I did point out a lot of the things I noticed as I was playing, and I'm sure if I play more and more, I notice more and more. I do like a lot of, you know, smaller details, like the little skull killstreak icon looks super sick. The general, like, vaporwave, like, colors and aesthetic looks really nice. I like the little scrolling menu thing here. I thought that was pretty neat. And, like, the animated icons here were kind of nice, but honestly, I didn't like them that much. And yeah, I think that's about all there is to talk about in regards to this HUD. Overall, like I said just 5 seconds ago, rough around the edges, but pretty neat, pretty well stylized, and generally things are where they should be. Overall, probably gonna give it I'd say a 3 out of 5. I think it's a nice alternate to the stock TF2 HUD, but it doesn't fix most of the problems I have, or other people have, with the stock TF2 HUD, while also having some of its own, like the low health indicator popping up the middle of my screen. I just really did not like that as a feature. I thought that was rather unfortunate. Because, you know, as I described, that'd be really rough to use in a clutch situation. So yeah, overall 3 out of 5, very solid HUD. I think with a bit more improvement, this could be a solid 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5 for people that are looking for this type of thing. I'm personally not. I don't think I ever would have been, even if this was really perfectly well done. But, yeah, I also saw some random icon when I was hovering over the enemy medic. I saw some green thing flash up on my screen, but it flashed up so quick that I don't even know what it was. But yeah, that's all there's to say. Gave my rating, gave my reasoning. Hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with what I had to say. I think I was a bit more opinionated, a bit more vocal on this one compared to most of my normal episodes. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.